Today, it's impossible to imagine a world without trillions of words on street signs and hoardings, in newspapers, books, magazines, and on the internet. We live in a world saturated with written language. So how did the brain get rewired to read?
To understand how we do new things, which we do constantly, you need to know two key things about the brain. One is that it's modular. That is, different bits of it specialise in doing different things. And the other is that it's plastic. The bits change. The modules work together to produce an almost infinite range of behaviour. You could think of it as a sort of Lego set that can be built up to do one thing and then dismantled and built again in a different way to do something else entirely. Same bits, different function.
One of the most dramatic demonstrations of the brain's ability to reshape itself came from some surprising subjects, London cabbies. Their brains provided the living data for a now famous piece of neuroscientific detective work.
It looked at a bit of their brain called the hippocampus. It's the bit sort of right in here. And it's the bit that we all use when we're finding our way about. It helps to code and retrieve knowledge about space. Of course, taxi drivers know more about that than any of us because they have to do this thing called the knowledge, which involves 2 years of becoming familiar with all the back streets of London. What the researchers found when they looked at the cab driver's hippocampus was that that bit of the brain was measurably bigger than it is in ordinary people. Right now, if you looked at this guy's brain in a scanner, you'd see that his hippocampus is firing away like crazy as he finds his way around these streets. And it's that constant firing away in a particular bit of the brain that builds that area up and makes the module particularly strong.
The taxi driver study shows that the human brain can adapt to fresh challenges. In the case of these cabbies, storing an entire map of London streets inside their heads. So does that mean that our brains have a special part, like the hippocampus, that gets muscled up to read?